Hi, it's Peggy from the Pearl Forest, and today I'm going to do journal cards with an idea that I got from another YouTube channel called Sevenplaza or Plaza. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. And it is called Making Ink Box Cards. That's what the project is called. That wasn't exactly the title of their video, but if you checked out Sevenplaza, you could find it. So basically, you make journal cards that are the size of your ink box. So they're 3 inches square with rounded corners. And I tossed my corner rounder back in here. Let me grab it quick because we will need it. Of course, it's way back in the back. Okay, sorry about that. So you use, I think it's the smallest one, I think. It's the same as, or maybe the medium one. Smallest one is cards, but I don't think it's the big one, but you can experiment to see which one it is. But this is why they're called ink box cards, because they're the size of an ink box. So what you do, she collaged 12 by 12 paper with a variety of collage papers. I have a bunch of scraps that are, a lot of them are die cut outsides. While I was there, I made a few that I cut off that were, I kept the die cut outside. So these I'm gonna make into journal cards later when I'm off camera. A lot of rubber duckies. This umbrella. I have a corner that was already punched in a triangle like that. Some more ducks. Lots of ducks. So part of this page is missing because I've cut these out. But what we do, and I'm not going to trust my paper cutter because I'm not sure that it cuts straight. So we are going to use a ruler and a pencil. Hopefully I have one here on the side. It's not very sharp. So this one I tried to do at about a half, which would be where the 3-inch cards would go. Let's see if we got it within the 6 inches. We did. Okay, so I'm gonna put the 6-inch on here and put a mark at 9 and at 12. If you have a paper trimmer that you trust, you can go for that. I have a guillotine one that I have been using here, and I find that sometimes the edge is not very straight. So I thought I would just do this instead. So we draw a 3-inch line, or you would just cut them at 3 inches. We just have a little bit more of a job. And this shouldn't show because I'm going to distress the edges. So I got pretty close there. This extra paper here we could possibly use in our decorating. So this is going to be 3 inches, 6 inches, and 9. That's kind of confusing because the number's at one side. It's one thing that you might think that measuring and math and geometry and all those kind of things will never come in handy, but they sometimes come in handy with arts and crafts, don't they? So there's those. And if we cut these out from the back side, then there will be a surprise when we turn them over. Now I'm going to cut several sheets of these, but we're only going to decorate some of them, because I'm going to try to be mindful of the time. It's a little thicker when you get to where the die cuts are on there, because you have extra paper, and if they overlap at all, then you have even more extra paper. So I went a little bit over on some of them, but that's okay. I wanted to make sure I got that far. We have a little over the edge, making sure that we got to the edge. Okay. And maybe we'll just decorate this batch and see how our time is as far as going into the other cards. But each sheet has a different scrapbook paper and a different set of die cut scraps, so they'll look unique. And I'm curious to see how much of the die cut you can still see. But we have some things to use to kind of hide that, I guess. Change it into something else. We'll see. And maybe we'll just decorate one of each of these. So here's one. Here's one. This one I think is fun, that it has these little film strip holes. You can decide which way these go. I guess by the paper you would want it to go up a certain way. It's kind of fun that the flowers do show through. It's almost like a bridge. Some of these will be more challenging than others. So let's cut another one out and see. This one is a blue starry scrapbook paper, and you can see several of the die cuts. I'm not sure how I did this punched edge, but then I cut it apart, and then there were some little scraps. Okay, so let's mark this one. So we put our 12s on there. We mark 3, 6, and 9. Might as well just go all the way around the edge. We still need to trim the edge, speaking of that. This seems to be just a slight tad under 12 by this ruler anyway. So I'm just kind of centering my ruler. Hopefully that will work out in the end. I don't know why it's a little bit off. But I doubt most people are going to be measuring your little cards to see how exactly they are. If they overly don't look straight or something, they're really off, then yeah, but you can trim them up as well. Okay, so we have all of our marks. Okay. I put my pencil on the spot to see if my pencil will sit next to the ruler and cross it. That's something I learned in drafting. I actually have a drawing drafting background, as well as an education background, and a lot of other Jill of all trades and master of none. Let's see. Okay. So we'll just do these two, but we'll look at the other ones so you can see how they looked. as they are as a 12 by 12. I didn't trim the edge yet, but that's okay. I'll just trim each card. And some parts of these cards will just be this scrapbook paper, and some parts of them will be the part that I collaged on top. So they're not equal in their depth or thickness. And I don't have any envisionment of where these will be used, although when I'm decorating them I might think of something. I know some people are very neutral in their desires. They don't like white, they don't like a lot of bright colors generally, but then sometimes they do. A lot of people like, you know, vintage and not bright modern. But largely my design, I guess, direction that I'm taking is using what I have. And fortunately or unfortunately, depending on your point of view, I have a lot of bright things. But like we've done in another video, we can tone them down some. We can try some of that on some of these as well. Let's see. So it goes pretty quickly. We did a half one, and then this is a whole one. So there's 16 cards on a sheet, so we'll have 16 plus 8. So we'll have 24 cards to choose from and see how many we can decorate. So we have that one, that one, that one. This one has a tree. And this doesn't have a right, an up or down. You can turn these whatever way you want. So that's what we have for those. So right before we start, let's just take a look at our other papers. This one has sort of a peachy background with dishes and pots and pans. This one has houses and a variety of things. This one has cassette tapes. This one has polka dots. This one had a scrapbook paper with a floral design and some gold writing in the middle. And this one has multicolored stars. So if we have extra time, we could do some of those, but I doubt we will. Now I've put out some, you can kind of see here, some fussy cut options. I have some right here. I also have some digitals that I've printed, including some labels. They are not cut out yet, so we'll have to cut something out if we want them. So what sparks our fancy? I like that one, that direction. This one, you know, we can put stuff on here that, you know, covers up a lot of the black. These have a variety. I like this comb. I kind of like to just leave it. I don't know. It just seems like a nice design. This is some good backgrounds. This one is a little more challenging, although we could put some flowers or something on it. These could just be anything. Here's a bird. I mean a bird. Here's a tree that might like a bird. You know, that could have a bird on it, or it could have a ticket, or, you know, something perhaps. There's a star. I like that one in that direction. Let's look at these ones. I guess that goes that way. That's kind of different with the, let's put it not with the other red one, with the letter. I have limited time. I like this one with the little holes. So I have four of the blue star background and 3 of the flower one. Maybe we'll do another flower one. Maybe just this one. It looked just like something fell off somewhere. So what she did for hers, she did round her corners first and distress them. I think she distressed them first, but I think I'm going to go back and do that later. One thing that I thought we could do, and maybe we'll do that first so it can be drying, is we can use some of the ink and add some texture. Unfortunately, on the really dark color, it doesn't show up very much. Maybe it would look nice on this one to add a little interest to the background. And actually, oh, that's what it was, something, little piece of blue fell off from somewhere. This one might be nice to get some of this texture on the tree. Right now we kind of have just mostly solid looking because there's not much in the way of design. We could put some of this down this side here for a little something, and maybe some on there. And to balance it, maybe some right there. So that's an option. We also have little scraps of paper that we can add in. I have these pinwheels I fussy cut out of some wrapping paper. We can see if we like this on any of them. That might be a little light on the dark paper. That one shows up a little more. We kind of lose the Y if we put that on there. Or we have this blue-green one. Kind of looks nice with that, and it could go off the edge, so that's a possibility. We have some little pictures. Here's a pumpkin. This shows up nice on the dark and kind of looks good with that. We have a big floral. We lose a lot of the background picture here, but it can be kind of nice. Oops, hang on a sec. Okay, so I've organized into these boxes different categories. These are things. So I have little postcards. These are traffic signs. This is the dishes from that other paper. This is a miscellany of little things. These are some little brown paper with different shades of hearts. That might be nice on here. Or do we want a lighter color? No, I don't think so. Maybe up there. This one has little houses. And we have pencils, bright colored pencils. This could pick up the green in the flowers. Or we could put the green down here. They're stuck together. Come on. And we could put a red one up here on the side. No, I like the green one. Could have something red here to tie in with that. We have these telephones. For some reason, kind of just reminds me of something similar to the little pinwheel. I don't know why. I have some insect stickers. Maybe, let's see which ones we have. Don't want to flip them out. This little dragonfly might be nice down there, kind of blending in the colors. We have this butterfly that sort of looks like a leaf in some ways. I'm not sure if I like that there as much though. Here's a dragonfly. These are bright colors. Okay. Okay, so this is a nice way to organize them up. I still have more fussy cutting and I have other ones that are flowers and birds and butterflies. Okay, what I was thinking, we still have our fussy cuts here too, but I was thinking of another flower or something, or a little tree. I have these punched out trees. Let's see, kind of a, yeah, multicolored green. I don't like it point right on the edge there though, but maybe there. No, ends it back over there. I don't think so. Nope. This one goes up here. That's not bad on there, so we'll leave it there for the moment. Miscellaneous flower pots, mushrooms. There's some flowers that are just floating in here. Maybe that in here. Now the smaller one looks nicer. Maybe that one. Little jars with plants. I think we might have what we need. We have some fall leaves. Okay, let's look at the fussy cuts for a minute. Ended up not using them yet. But do we want a label, or are they kind of too big? I'm thinking that this one needs a label. Maybe this one here that's kind of long and skinny. These, I thought they were all labeled. They're either from Pink Monarch Prints or My Porch Design, I believe. This page is not labeled. So now I'm not sure. I did order from several places, so I apologize for not getting the right one. I like the fact, people out there that are making theirs, and me in the future who's going to be making digitals, to put your name on it somewhere, so when somebody prints it out, they have your name on it for future use. So if they want to refer you to somebody else or give you credit for using it, they will know who you are. So I will try to figure this one out for the future. Okay, I think if I put this one, I didn't really want to lose the red flower, but I think it needs to be at an angle like that with our dragonfly down there. Okay, so let's put these just over here. My other idea was to use some napkin and tissue on some of these. I think this needs something else later, but you can put that on later. Okay, so let's put our little phone on and finish up this batch so we can see what they look like. That glue is not coming out. Try again. Okay, so put the glue on like this. I'm using art glitter glue. I could use glue stick, but I'm just gonna use art glitter glue because that's what I have handy. Once again, this pinwheel is from a wrapping paper that I've had for years. It possibly came from Current Incorporated, but I'm not 100% sure. But I have had it for a long time. It had all different colors of pinwheels on it. Okay, we'll trim that one in a minute. Okay, let's put this down at an angle. I do think this one needs a word or something up near the top. Put this like that. I'm not sure where this also came from, because this foreign card Venezuela, maybe? Venezia S. Lucia. Okay, put our birdie on. And our flower. I thought I was making great progress using up my die cuts, only to find that I have a lot more than I thought. So I probably will be making some packages to share. Definitely they'll go in some kits. Share the wealth. I'm planning to sell some things on Ko-fi, but I have not yet figured out how to list them on there. I've put a freebie on there. You can check that out if you'd like, from the Pearl Forest on Ko-fi, K-O-F-I. But I still am researching selling it. This one will probably need seems like it needs something to hang its branch on. It'll probably need a word up there too. I'll stick it over here so it's, whoops, its branch comes off the edge. Sorry about that, little birdie. I just broke your branch. We'll just glue you back together. Okay, there's that one. And then this bird and his little tree. Put the tree on here. And that's a punch from some kind of paper that I have or had. I just punched out a bunch of trees one time. I don't know if it's my mom's punch or mine, but I know we were doing them together on the day that I punched that. We share some art supplies. Okay, there's that one. Now this one we'll put on the pencil. Because I collaged on the printed side of my scrapbook paper and they all have just white on the back, they already have a built-in writing space on the back. So I'm just going to need to distress the edges and around the corners, and it should be good to go unless I add some words, which I could also do right before I'm putting it in a journal. Let's see, we'll turn this guy like that. And it's kind of a interesting collection of things. Wouldn't necessarily probably think of putting them together. This pumpkin thing, it's a label for pumpkins, butterfly pumpkins. And I'm not sure where it came from. It's a little bit shiny paper. This heart, I cut around the hearts just in little squares, and that was a cardstock. That's kind of simple. And I did that one. I need to trim it though. And then this one, we'll put this through here, there. I think this label grounds this. Oops, over a little bit more. I'm kind of aiming between there. Kind of looks like a fun summer pinwheel and dragonfly and flowers. Let's see. Gonna point this through here and make sure I can see the side of the label. And then we'll put on our dragonfly. Some extra glue because stickers usually need it. Just put him down here at the bottom like that. And then we have this one. I really like these flowers here. They were a scrapbook paper that I fussy cut them out. It has kind of a flat edge, so let's stick that right on the bottom of the card. They weren't too hard to cut out and they were fun. This bouquet of flowers in a glass jar. I'm not sure where that came from either. In my collection somewhere. Okay. Looks like a nice fall one. And this cardstock with the hearts had different amounts of shading, so solid black down to lighter gray. It has like a kind of a hash pattern on it even, so it's a little textured. Okay, so let's punch these out. Let's see, do we want medium or do we want large? Oh, I think large is what fits our ink box, so we'll go with large. So we'll do all of these and distress them and give them a look. Oops, this one will help if I also need to check to see if there's any overhang that I didn't get earlier. Like this one, that was the corner, had a little bit of overlap. I think those are okay. You can see these make nice, fairly quick little journal cards with a fair amount of writing space left. Does it need trimming? Nope. Depending on how many layers of paper you have, it'll determine how difficult this is to punch. You do want to get that in there square. Does this need trimming? Nope. And you can do a different amount of rounding. I just thought I would do the same as the ink box for this batch anyway. In my cleaning up, I'm using up and making a variety of things. I really want to get to a journal, but I just keep trying to use up and clean up. It'll be one day soon. Okay. Clean off the desk. And let's see how these look. I think this has a little bit there. And you don't have to use vintage photo. You can use, you don't have to distress at all, but if you want to, you can use walnut. You could use any number of colors. I have other colors. I guess it's kind of the industry favorite to use vintage photo. Some people call it vintageizing, or making it look vintage, and the edges are nicer when they're not just white. Kind of gives it something of interest too on the back when you go to write. Here. Okay. And you might find when you do a collage that you might have something that's a little loose. It didn't get glued down enough, so you can, probably a good idea to check out your cards or your tags or whatever it is you made. And check them out thoroughly before you stick them in your done box, because they might bump up to things and something might come off. Then you'll have to do some repair work, which might include a redesign because you lost something that was on there. But that's not the end of the world either. I'd love to hear what you out there are doing. I really don't know who watches my videos and who doesn't, unless they tell me, because YouTube does not tell me. It'll tell me, you know, so many views, but not who is watching it. So if you leave a comment, then we can communicate with each other if you want. If you don't want to, that's fine too. And if you subscribe, you'll know when I make more. But you can also just check back if that's what you prefer. Your choice. It's just really a service to you. And if that didn't sound good. And if one comes up and you don't want to watch it, then you can skip it or you can save it for later. If you look in your history, you can find ones that you've started to watch and maybe didn't finish. Or you can just go back to my playlists and look something up. Those are some ways to use it. So let's look at these and see. So here's one. Oops, goes this way. Here's one. I can't wait to put these in a journal or a kit, although in a kit I won't see how they're ended up being used, but if they're in a journal and see them come together with other things and on pages come together. I just like that comb. I don't know why. That's why I put the girl there with her long hair. I thought she would be nice with the comb. And here's our other one. So thank you for joining me today as we made our collage from leftover die cut backgrounds, and there's scraps from them and scrapbook paper, and we made them into ink box cards. Oops, come on. See, they're the same size. I'm not sure who made it up, but Sevenplaza is where I saw it. So thank you for joining me. This is Peggy from the Pearl Forest, and I look forward to seeing you next time. And who knows what we're making then. Take care. Bye.